It's the tariff again. The world's two largest economies, that's the US and China. They've again agreed to extend the deadline for tariffs to come into effect. A last-minute executive order from US President Donald Trump will prevent taxes on Chinese imports to the US from rising to 30%. Beijing also announced the extension of the tariff pause at the same time. This is according to the Ministry of Commerce. Those tariffs on goods entering the US from China were due to take effect today. The extension allows for further negotiations with Chinese Premier Xi Jinping and also prevents tariffs from rising to 145%, a level reached after tit-for-tat increases in the wake of Trump's Liberation Day announcement. That was in April. Tariffs deadline implications also are coming on in this, and that's why we're speaking to our correspondent, Maria Bird, who joins us from Washington. Hi, Maria. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Yeah, so we see another extension to this, and so the two biggest economies seem to be in agreement, even though we still hear undertones of tension, But what does this mean, and what are the implications? Because this looks like just extending or postponing the evil day between US and China.
Well, we're right here up against when the inflation reports will be released for July. And so we just received a new Bureau of Labor and Statistics chief. And so the president is right now in the midst of quite a bit of change as it relates to how much he's managing and monitoring the U.S. economy. And specifically as we look at inflation, inflation has continued to be a topic of discussion. It is one that has pushed back kind of some of the thoughts around being able to reduce interest rates. And so having this type of a tariff between the U.S. and China at this point in time could be detrimental and very challenging for the U.S. And so the president's extension until November the 10th, the additional 90 days, was probably much so advised by his economic experts within his staff and within his team. As we know that there is some predictions that potentially, if we do see rise in inflation, there could be some links to tariffs. And so I think that he is trying to avoid that. We're also coming up against the end of the year. We know the end of the year is a time in which people begin to prepare for the holiday season and shopping, and having these tariffs come right here before the end of the year would be quite challenging. And the president obviously has said that he is looking to work with China. Many other countries have come to the table. Conversations have ensued and continued between the U.S. and China, and I think there is hope that we could potentially see, because the type of tariffs you're talking about, as you said, triple digits, would drastically change the economic landscape for both the U.S. and China.
Yeah, because Goldman Sachs did warn that before now we've seen companies take the fall, the consequences of the tariffs, but in the coming days it will be expected that it could shift, to consumers. They will start feeling the pinch of it. What kind of talks do you think we can expect between these two giant economies, even during this postponement?
Well, what we know is that the U.S., as you mentioned, the president has been very clear about America first. He's been very clear that he wants more manufacturing to develop and to create more jobs here in the United States, to be more open marketplace in that area. And so the president is obviously going to be negotiating with China. We know that one of the largest importer of goods comes from China here into the U.S. So looking at ways to have some goods that China purchases from the U.S. To kind of bring forth some manufacturing here, and that's so having that exchange of a relationship, that's really why we're looking at 90 days. It's because greater emphasis on the ability to create new business opportunities between the two countries, and looking at ways to leverage the U.S. being able to have additional manufacturing opportunities to leverage their job market here as well.
All right, Maria, thank you so much. You'll be counting the 90 days with them and see what they come up with by the end or just before the end. Thank you so much, Maria Bird, for your time.